Okay, joining me is Bluts. Actually, we do it again because the first recording was shit. Okay, so this guy is probably one of the best German king players that I know, at least. And he gave me some tips back in the days, so Tekken 7. And this tip was so good that I thought, like, I want to share it with you guys. At least I think it's a good tip. And because I don't want to make the video 2 minutes long, I actually have a couple of other tips now and want to talk about these tips with Bluts together. So yeah, again, Bluts, how are you doing, sir?
I'm still doing very good, thank you very much.
You're still enjoying Tekken 8, I guess?
I am enjoying it a lot, yeah. It's a huge improvement over Tekken 7. I'm having a blast playing it.
Okay, and still, my eyes are totally destroyed by looking at the screen for the last 2 days, so that's why I had sunglasses on in the last 2 videos, but yeah, I thought it looked stupid, but whatever. So now I'm looking tired. So first thing, I didn't want to just make a video about, yeah, do this, do that, technical stuff, right? I just want to give a little bit more, like, I want to talk to Bluts about, spiritual advice, mental advice, mindset stuff. I think that's a little bit better and maybe more helpful than just technical stuff like do this, do that, and that's how it goes. So the first thing I have noted down is you will suffer, learn to lose, try to celebrate little victories. You just got that amazing launch punish you couldn't do before. Great. So that means, like, when I was playing Tekken or fighting games in general, I was always very, very focused on doing combos, and then I was just focused on winning, and I I lost a lot, and then I got very, very angry, and I got very, very depressing, and I felt like I'm not winning. So what do you think about this mindset? Like, celebrate little victories instead of focus on winning.
That's definitely important because, for one, you can't always be winning. That's not an expectation you should ever have, really. If you focus on these little victories, then that means you focus on improving your character. You don't just focus on winning the whole thing, you focus on making small improvements, step by step, which solidifies, it makes your character more solid, right? Like, if you, in a set, notice you cannot deal with this one specific thing, then your response should not be, okay, how can I win anyways? Your response should be, how do I figure out how to deal with this? Even if it means that you lose a round, you should try different things to try and work around this thing that you're having problems with. You should focus on these little fights and these little victories to become a better player, not just win a set by whatever means.
So this is also what actually I experienced myself. So when the first time I was joining Bluts tournaments, obviously, you play versus a lot of veterans and good players, and I knew that I would lose. I actually expected to get kicked out in the first round, but I actually managed to score a victory, not a match victory, but I won a round versus I think it was Ruby. I cannot remember anymore, but this guy obviously has more experience than I have, and I was really happy that I just managed to actually win a round instead of winning the match. So yeah, this is the first thing that I noted down, is like, if you have trouble winning, stop being so focused on winning and just try to win. Try to win the next 10 seconds by, like, getting that punish done, hitting that combo maybe, instead of just focusing on the full match. So is there anything you want to add to this topic?
For tournaments specifically, it's of course different. In tournaments, obviously, your goal is to win. That is obviously how it is. But the advice for focus on small victories, that is more for, like, your ranked play, your, like, more casual play, where you try to improve. What you said is a very good point. You were playing against an obviously better player. And again, having the expectation that you should win in any way is, like, it's not ever really that healthy. Even if you're the better player and you play against someone who's worse, you should not have the expectation that you will win. It's not a default. This will never be the case. So instead, focusing on doing well, being calm, just, you know, don't be obsessed with winning, focus on the play instead. That's really good, really important.
One thing about tournaments, it also depends, right? You got top 8, what was it? Combo Breaker? No, it was not Combo Breaker. What was it?
No, Combo Breaker is in America. I got top 8 at Crossover.
Crossover is, yeah, so that's also in tournament a big win, if you ask me, right? Just getting into top 8. I remember I was talking to you like when we first met, like, hey dude, you're so good, why don't you just do tournaments? And you were like, I don't care about tournaments that much, and then you went to this tournament, just got in top 8, man, instantly. I guess that feels amazing, even if you didn't win, right?
It felt super good. That was honestly, like, that's not an exaggeration. I would say that's so far the best weekend I've had of my entire life. Because I've been playing Tekken for like 5 years now, and I have went to a total of, I think, 4 offline tournaments. I never really did well at them, at least not too well. And with this one, with Crossover, I just said, you know what? Screw it, I'm just gonna go there, I'm just gonna have fun. Someone that I know is also coming, and we get to meet up IRL for the first time. And my goal at the time was to just get like top 32, I think? Something like that. I was just telling myself, okay, try and get that, and everything else that happens doesn't matter. Even if I lose, it just doesn't matter. Just do your best. And
that's a good example. That's a good example, right? You set yourself a goal to be like, I'll just come and go and have fun. And suddenly, because your expectations were low, you exceeded that goal by far, and you felt so much better because your focus was not winning the tournament. Your focus was just being there and having fun, and actually do a little. Just achieve a little bit, like top 32 or whatever, and suddenly you're in top 8. So yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, don't focus on winning. Focus on the next step. Focus on that next punish. Focus on the next combo you land, on the next juggle. Maybe on, for example, I have trouble with wall splat because the wall is sometimes weird in Tekken, and you really need to adapt suddenly. So yeah, when you suddenly get that wall combo done, I think that's also a great victory in itself. Next point I have is learn to punish before you learn combos and counter hits. I thought that's interesting because everyone is jumping on fighting games for the first time. They go up on YouTube, search for a combo video with like, yeah, this is the best combo for the character. Then they practice it, lab it in 2 hours or something, and then they get their ass kicked in online because they don't know, they want to do the combo, but they never have the opportunity to actually get it. So I think before you do anything else, before you learn anything, I would say learn punish game first. So what is your take on that?
I would say that's definitely correct. Not necessarily only punish game, but rather, you start the game, you're in a match, the guy says, round 1 fight. The situation that you're put in is with both feet on the ground. Both of you are standing in front of each other. You're not starting with the opponent in a combo. So that is not the first thing you should learn. Combos are just extra damage you get after a launch, but that is not something that you can build your Tekken on, It's really important to start learning by looking at the things that you can do on the ground, the things that will affect your opponent the most, the things that your character has that he can do to win the neutral in that sense.
Neutral, yeah, that's the game. That's the name of the game, right? You have to learn neutral first, and with learning neutral, you learn punishing. And after you know how to punish, after you know how to launch punish, this is when you then start to learn the combo, right?
Yeah. So another funny thing is that if you start the game and you're in like beginner ranks, the thing that you said, most people, they look up like, oh, how do I do combos? So they look up combos, and then they only learn the combos, and then they go into rank and they just spam launches. The thing, of course, with this is that most beginners don't know that launchers are punishable on block. And if you are like the one guy that learns block punishment before he learns combos, then you will be the one guy that just stands there, blocks something, and punishes them, and then just wins like 50 rounds in a row.
Yeah, good point. So next stuff I have on my list here is take breaks. Your brain needs to process what you just have learned. I saw that a lot with myself, like when you're playing, I took off work for the next week to enjoy Tekken. But I've been focusing on story mode, arcade, and also doing some breaks, Tekken Ball here and there. But imagine I could, if I wanted to, I could just play 10 hours straight ranked. But I know if I do that, I would probably have to go to a fucking clinic because I'm ending in a depression. So yeah, what do you think about that? Taking breaks, like the analogy is, if you go to the gym, you also need 2 days of a break so your body can actually start regenerating. I think it's the same with your brain, right? It also has to regenerate to process what you just learned. And sometimes you get back to the game, it's better after you actually play better 2 days later if you just took a 2-day break. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I think taking breaks is very important. It kind of depends on like what you consider a break in this case. For some people, a break is not playing ranked and instead hopping like into practice mode or something. That can be a break for some people. For other people, a break can be not playing the game entirely and then coming back to it. Either way, a break is important because obviously you can exhaust yourself mentally by constantly trying to think about the game, by constantly trying your best in a setting. You know, you just kind of stress yourself out that way. Even if it's just chill, there is still some like mental capacity being used up, and eventually you need a break, and you should take a break, especially if you notice yourself getting tilted and playing worse over time. Everyone needs a break. That's normal.
And Tekken 8 actually provides good stuff for that, right? Just chill on Tekken launch, play some Tekken Ball. I think that's one of the best ways to actually just relax your brain cells a little bit. Tekken Ball is fun. If you get your ass kicked like 10 times in a row, just play some Tekken Ball with a friend and have a revenge match there.
Yeah, Tekken Ball is really good. You can just casually play it, have some fun. I played it with Ruby yesterday, and we just kind of
it's just fun, yeah.
At the ball. It's super fun. I had no idea what was going on, but it was fun.
So next thing I have here is actually something that I see. It kind of people are not sure about that. I see it. Some people prefer the one way, some people prefer the other way, and it's character selection. So if you're new, you're searching for your new character, what you want to pick, what you want to play, and some say always the same advice: take the easy character first. Another one you see on the internet is they say, take the one you think yourself personally looks cool. And I'm always a little bit like, well, both are kind of right. So the argument for taking someone easy is you're not getting too frustrated. The argument for take someone you think looks cool, the people say if you pick a character that you think looks cool, even if it's a harder character and you have trouble, because you like the character so much, it helps you to keep pushing forward. So what would you say is the better advice here? Take the easy character first to learn the game, or take the one that you think it looks cool for you personally?
Like you said, both are correct in a sense, but my personal advice would be to pick whoever you like the most visually, like who feels the best. Take a look at every character that kind of catches your eye and then stick with the one that you like the most. Because the advice about picking an easy character to avoid getting frustrated, that doesn't really apply if you pick your favorite character, because you love that character a lot. And so that frustration is being pushed in the back. It's not that apparent. But if you play a character that is supposedly easy, but that you don't enjoy as much, then it'll feel more like work, right?
Makes sense, yeah.
It'll not feel that good to play him.
So yeah.
The advice about picking an easy character is good in the sense that an easy character can often teach you Tekken. He doesn't really teach you the character, but he rather teaches you like Tekken as a whole, as a basic fundamental thing. Because for example, if you pick like a Mishima and you have someone who's minus 15 and you want to launch that, then you have to do an electric. Now, obviously, when you first play the game, that's not going to be very easy. But if you pick an easy character, you can instead learn that, okay, that's minus 15. I can do this down forward too. I can use a hop kick or something like that. And then you learn that minus 15 is like the gap, like the bridge where stuff becomes launch punishable and how to launch punish that. And it kind of teaches you the concepts better if you pick an easy character. But if you pick your character, then the frustration from the game itself will not be as hard if anything happens.
These are like the two magic numbers in Tekken, right? 10 and 15.
Yeah.
But this is, like I said, don't want to get too technical, maybe for another time. If you are really lucky, then this is how I did it all the time. I'm not I don't give too many. I don't give too many credit to tier lists, to be honest. But I still, it's like a guilty pleasure. I like to watch tier lists sometimes just to see what other people think. But I never watch them. I just skip to the end and just look at what they say, what's the result. And then I compare the results of 3 to 5 tier lists. And if a character that I like a lot is actually there, then I try the character and see if it actually clicks. So maybe that's the way to do it, like having best of both worlds. If you're lucky, there's a character that is actually easy and you like it, like the character, then that's probably good for you. But sometimes that doesn't happen. So King, for example, is not too easy. They made him easier in Tekken 8, right? I think King is actually almost beginner friendly because he's not so reliant on combos and you don't really need to learn all the chain throws at the beginning. And with the with the Jaguar sprint and all the armor, I think he's quite good for someone who actually wants to start picking up a new character. He's not a beginner character, I think, but he is easier than before, and you don't need to utilize all his stuff at the beginning. But your reason to pick King was also because you thought you love wrestling, you love the character, right? This was your starting point.
Yeah, that's correct. I love, like, as a kid, I played Tekken 5 for the first time, and I immediately fell in love with King when I saw him. Ever since then, I've basically only like been maining King. I have obviously played a lot of other characters, but King has always been my main guy, and he always will be. I don't see that ever changing. And King in Tekken 8, he has been simplified, yeah. I wouldn't say that he's like a beginner character, definitely not. But like I said earlier, if you love the character, then it doesn't have to be a beginner character. You can definitely learn the game with any character. It'll just, you know, be a different learning experience. Your learning curve might be higher, it might be lower than someone else's. That doesn't matter. It's your journey, and at the end, it doesn't matter which character you pick, as long as you enjoy it.
Okay, so yeah, pick the one who looks cool is definitely helpful. Then the last tip that I have noted down is actually the tip that you gave me. So let's get to the grand finale. Just to know where I was coming from. So when I was playing Tekken 7 all the time, I was it was not my turn. It was not my turn when you're talking in fighting game jargon, fighting game terms. So I was always not able to get my. I got blocked. Attacks got blocked all the time. Every time I pressed buttons, I was blocked. And at the same time, I felt like people were spamming a lot, and I got destroyed by the aggression, especially when you played something like, let's say, martial law players in low ranks. They just totally destroyed me with Junkyard and Dragon Tail and all that stuff. And I was always sitting there, and I was like, how the hell is it seems like it's not working? Like every time I press something, it doesn't connect, while the other guys, they just press all the time and it always connects. Then this guy here, he came to me and said, you know what, and this is one sentence that totally changed my mindset. And he said, yeah, I try to translate it to English. It's weird that we talk English, actually, because we're both native Germans, and but yeah, all for the sake of good content. So what he said to me was, only do a move with the intention to also hit. And for some reason, that just blew my mind. So can you explain what that actually means? I got it, but just what do you mean by this sentence? Only do a move with the intention to also land the move.
When you press a move, you want that move to serve a purpose, right? That's kind of the idea. You don't want to just press that move because you haven't pressed it in a while. You don't want to press that move because you know it's there and you should use it. You feel like you should use it. A move has to serve a purpose, right? You do a jab to try and stop the opponent in doing something. You do a mid to check them, to stop them from ducking. You do a low to see if they will duck and go through the defense, that kind of stuff. The move you press needs to have a purpose. You can't just press something because you like the move. It has to have a reason that you put it there in that specific scenario, in that moment.
I give you an example. I give you an example. When I finally lapped out Rolling Death Cradle, I really wanted to land Rolling Death Cradle in every match because I wanted to flex on the enemy, right? And because I always tried to do that, to do Rolling Death Cradle with King, you have to do the crouch dash with him. While doing crouch dash, you are very vulnerable to mids. And I always tried to do crouch dash, and I got blown to pieces by hop kicks and all that stuff. And yeah, this is actually, yeah, this is what it is, right? Don't just learn a move and spam it and just hope that your stuff connects. Do it with the mindset of, this is the purpose now to hit this, and then it's hard to explain, right? But the thing is, if you start adapting, if you start taking this and actually use this mindset to only use the move with purpose, your game will also slow down a little bit. You start to not just spam, and you start to actually just take a second to think. and wait for what the opponent does. And suddenly, if you start applying that, you also will see your punishment game improve by a lot. So yeah, I don't know what it is, but this tip you gave me, only use moves with a purpose to also connect. It changed my gameplay, and suddenly I was actually winning again in ranked, and I was climbing. So this is.
I'm glad to hear that.
I think this is the best thing you can tell someone. Personally, I think that maybe there's someone else there who watched this video and thinks like this is total bullshit. But if you're new to Tekken 8, and lots of new people coming in with Tekken 8 now out. If you're new to Tekken, learn your stuff. Yeah, do it, lab a little bit, but if you go online and you want to do a move, only do the move with the purpose, also hitting something. I think that's the best. I hope this is the best thing you can take away from this video here. This is why I met with this handsome guy here, so we can talk about it. Okay, so there's one thing that I totally forgot before when we were talking about character selection. I tried out Paul yesterday. I was never really that much into Paul. I think just one last advice, a bonus tip. If you're totally new to Tekken, try Paul. You need 2 attacks with Paul. You need to learn Demo Man and Death Fist. That's it. You don't need combos with Paul. And if you do Demo Man, people are scared. They start to duck. You do Death Fist. It's a mid. So yesterday I took Paul for the first time, and not first time technically, because yeah, you played Tekken in the past, yeah, but I played with Paul versus someone yesterday, a friend. I totally blew him apart by just using Demo Man and Death Fist. That's it. That's all I did. So by itself, it's kind of a full mix-up. So yeah, you can do that. Yeah. So yeah, if you're totally new, let's sum it up. Learn to lose. Celebrate little victories. Learn punishment before any complicated stuff. Learn neutral and punishment, because that's the most important stuff that will keep you motivated and get you the wins. Counter hits, you can learn that later as well. Punishment is more important, I think. Take your breaks. Character selection, take the one that you think looks cool. Also, Paul is quite good as a beginner, but if you think he's crap, then don't take him. But I think he's a good beginner character. And the best tip from Bluts himself: only input the moves with purpose. Yeah, so that's how to sum it up, I think. Anything else you need to add to that?
No, just have fun. Have it be your journey. Don't focus on being the best right away. Just enjoy everything that you do, and the rest will come naturally. So
you want to greet your mom maybe, and sister and all that stuff, like when you're...
Yes, I would like to thank my dog. I would like...
You have a dog, actually.
No, I don't have a dog.
I'm a cat person.
I'm very much a dog person, but I couldn't have a dog. I have a job. He would be lonely at home.
Yeah, I can understand. Okay, yeah. So yeah, that wraps up this video. So we're going to play some Tekken, I guess. I'm going to jump into the game right now after this recording. You too, I assume?
I'm already in Tekken. I'm in practice mode. Okay. Yeah, it's already running in the background.
Yeah, my game is not running because I just booted up the PC. So. But yeah,
that makes sense, yeah.
It will be running after this recording. So I want to thank you for being here, Bluts.
Not a problem. Thank you for asking me.
We would actually say Bluts, right, in Germany, because it's from the original name you had.
Yeah. The original name was like Blutsund, because Bluthund was taken, so I just put an S in there. But all of my English friends said, I don't need a German word. It's just Bluts. And that's just my name now.
And suddenly you're Bluts. Okay, so I'm going to wrap up the video, the recording, and yeah, we're going to see us in Discord anyway. Sharing all the ideas, combos, video clips and stuff, and yeah, playing some like you say, like good ass Tekken, right?
Some good ass Tekken.
Some good ass Tekken. Okay, have a good one, guys. See you next video.
Bye bye.